Hey everybody, this is Kendall. I wanted to go over my game Whodunit in Your Pocket, since this version has an updated graphic design. And major thanks to Whodunit. He is responsible for both the updated iconography you can see here and also putting together this playingcards.io version. So he's super cool to help me out, and he has some amazing games to check out. I will link to his YouTube channel in the video description. So thanks, Uberdante. So I wanted to show off this playingcards.io version or PCIO. I wanted to first show how to copy the room. So when you get here, if it's busy or someone else is in it, or to prevent someone messing up, you can go to this edit table icon in the upper left, come down to room options, and then scroll down to the bottom to copy room. So that out of the way. So Whodunit in Your Pocket is a solo spatial puzzle game inspired by the movie Clue, also the board game. Your goal is to solve the facts of the murder, the suspect, the weapon, and the location before the clock strikes midnight. You also lose if the blackmail floating around becomes too much, that it ruins your reputation. And it's these visible blackmail icons that I'll get into. But as you're playing, even if you fail, you can still keep playing just to solve out the murder, even though the murderer, quote, got away. So the game really doesn't end until you go through the cards through the deck. So the deduction, I have to explain a little about the cards. You can see here there's 7 of each type, and for the icons, there's 3 of each icon. So the poison is the only icon that will be in common between these 2 cards. Every 2 cards within the type will only have one thing in common between 2 cards, and there's only 3 icons of a given kind. So the way that is going to work is that to set up, you're going to randomly remove 2 of each type. And if you had removed these 2 cards, the murder weapon would be the poison, for example. So that is what you are deducting for. So as you are going through, if you see 2 of anything, you can mark those off your card over here. Cards are placed one at a time as you're playing them. They can't be moved around once you start stacking them. So I'm going to show a couple of examples. If I had started with this middle card and then I draw one, you can use Z or X to rotate your card, and you can place it landscape, portrait. You do have to cover at least 1 square of a card that's in play. And you don't want too many of these blackmail icons. So I may want to cover it in that type of way. So as you are playing, if you need more room, it's kind of problematic. So you want to start in the center, try not to spread it out too much. And as a strategy, you're going to want to keep things tight anyway, because it will help you. So let's see. If you are looking at placement here, the things you have in common you want to cover. So you have 2 of these poisons. You want to cover those up because if there's a duplicate, it means you are losing time, and you'll have to, so for example, that placement, and sometimes you have to, that would mean that I lose 1 time. And if the clock strikes midnight before I solve all the facts, then I lose. So you can work through that way. You also, so you have an incentive to cover duplicates. You also have an incentive to cover these blackmail icons. You want to not cover these characters with a gray circle around them. These are bystanders. So in the movie, you might think of the stranded motorist or the singing telegram lady. Basically, if these get covered, so for example, like this, I have to mark off that bystander. And if you cover two bystanders, you have these icons here to kind of show you. So if you have two, sorry, that's not. See, if you have two there, basically you lose one time. If you lose two more, you lose another. So 2, 4, 6. So you have an incentive not to cover bystanders, and you have an incentive to connect these magnifying glass clue icons. So in an example, if you went like this, if you have two that are adjacent, you can do this 3 times in the game. You basically get to check off one of these, and it allows you to regain an hour. If you don't have any time missing, you can't bank an hour, but basically you get to reduce an hour. You save some time because you found these amazing super clues. So if you were placing this and you had a duplicate, it would cancel out that duplicate because of this. So you would be theoretically adding an hour because of the duplicate, but then taking it away because you're using a clue. So these icons here are secret passageways, and they symbolize where these can be placed. So they are used only for that purpose. They otherwise can be ignored. And the way a secret passage works, think of it as you're in a haunted, spooky kind of mansion house, and it wouldn't be uncommon for that type of thing to have a secret passageway. So if you are playing and you have a secret passageway, you could use it as long as you are covering one of those squares. You can use it to cover as many spaces as you want. So you couldn't place it like this because it's not covering one of those icons, but you could place it like this as long as you're covering one. The secret passageways are to make the game easier. So in easy mode, you'll have 2 available. In intermediate, you'll have 1, and in advanced, you won't have either. So in that case, you would ignore these icons altogether because you don't have those. Okay, let's show how the setup for the game works. So if you press one of these, it will basically, I clicked easy, so both secret passageways are included here. If you want to shuffle or give the cards an extra shuffle, you can click on the number and click shuffle. And yeah, I clicked on easy. So the way this game is played, you just flip over one at a time. I'm going to put this in the middle. And all right, now I have a secret passageway. I could use this right away, or I'm also playing with the rules that you get to set it aside, and basically you can use it during the game. If you end up not using it, it's worth 2 points. So at the end of the game, I'll show you an optional scoring. All right, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to go ahead and cover that. And one strategy is sometimes keeping the blackmail out to the edges, just so it's easier to get to. Okay, this is our first 2 cards of the same type, so we can eliminate the purple, which is Professor Plum, or I like to think of it as Professor Plum. Okay, so I've got 2 blackmail out. Let's go this way. All right. Okay, we've got the bathroom here. And let's cover that. So we don't have a duplicate. Okay. Our first weapon card, it also has a blackmail. I want to keep this tighter if I can, so what I might do is place it here. Let's see. Actually, we know it's not Professor Plum. We can cover this, and well, that doesn't help us because it would if we're connecting these, that would eliminate an hour, but it doesn't let us bank one, so it would be kind of wasting it at that point. Okay, so I think we will maybe do best just to kind of keep it tight in here. So I'm going to maybe go like that. 2 blackmail is okay. Once you get to 3, you do have to mark off a time. And then if you get to 4 visible and 5, if you ever get to 6, you automatically lose. Your reputation is too damaged to win. So, all right, we've got 2 of these pink. It's like a conservatory. All right, so this will give us 3 blackmail. We also have the purple to cover. So in this case, there's no physical way I can cover the pink and the purple at the same time. So this is where having a secret passage is useful, because I can do this, but instead of taking losing a time for this duplicate, I can use this before my turn is over and place it here. All right, that prevented us from losing any time, both for the duplicate, and I covered a blackmail, so we don't have to lose time for that. All right, 10 cards left. So we've got, this is kind of unlucky. The one thing it has in common with this card is the purple. The one thing it has in common with this card is the purple. So we haven't eliminated any more information, but we can use this to cover the blackmail. And let's see, let's do it this way. Again, I like to keep my blackmail on the edges if I can. Okay, we've got the purple in common. Let's eliminate that dining room. And we also have, yeah, that was purple as well. The one in common here is this, what is that? It's like a salon kind of room. So we can check that off. Now, this is tricky. We don't have a way to cover both. Actually, we do. We can. I was going to say we're going to have to cover something we haven't eliminated yet, which you can do, but we have eliminated this pink. So let's do that. Let's see. So let's rotate. Okay, but unfortunately that does. So we don't have a duplicate. That does increase our blackmail to the 3 level. So we do lose our first time. So we're actually doing pretty good. But we're also in easy mode. So let's see. All right, we have the lead pipe can be ruled out. What else? I think this is only our second weapon card, so that's the only thing we can rule out. We want to avoid a duplicate. Okay, we know we can cover this one. So we... No? Okay. Alright, what if we went this way? That works. It does add another blackmail. So that's not good. But I think that's probably our best move right now. So we're up to 4 blackmail. Okay, another weapon. We've got the gun we can eliminate. And the knife. And that's it, right? Yeah, those two. The gun and the knife are going to be impossible to cover both. So we may want to just cover this blackmail because we can cover this and the knife. So we'll get a duplicate, but see, actually we can cover the pipe and the knife and the blackmail. So we don't need to cover that. We can keep it this direction. So no duplicates. Well, we removed one duplicate, but we have the pistol, so that adds a duplicate there. Okay. All right. Next up, all right, we got another lead pipe. That's what's in common with that card. We've got the rope we can eliminate. And this card, it was the lead pipe as well. So we need to cover the rope. That's it. That's it on this one. We just need to cover that rope. So that's easy enough. Since we've got 2 pistols, we can cover that revolver, as it were. And we can go this way to line that up. Because we're good with, we got to cover the rope. The knife and the pistol have already been eliminated. So let's do, we can use this, and that removes one of our time. So that's great. And we're back down to 3 blackmail, 5 cards to go. All right, we've got another secret passageway. Let's wait on that one. All right, this is Peacock. Mrs. White. And Mrs. Scarlet, actually. So we're really narrowing these down. We have to cover blue and red and white. This would be, again, impossible to do. So there's not any harm in getting 4 blackmail visible, other than it could lead to 5. So yeah, let's see. Let's go like this. So we do have some duplicates. And I should say, if you have more than 1 duplicate, you still only increase your time by 1. But in this case, we've got the extra blackmail. We're already checked off on that. And this prevents the duplicate for the blue Mrs. Peacock there. So, all right, we are staying steady. It's 8 o'clock. We're doing great. Three more cards. I think we've been pretty lucky. All right, we can check off the green, which is like the hall or the study. And we can check off this kitchen. We have to cover these 2. We also can cover this one. That's eliminated. So we're doing pretty good. In fact, let's go this way. That eliminates another time. So we're doing great. I think we've had a lucky draw. All right, Colonel Mustard. That's the And then this brown one, maybe a butler. Okay, we have discovered it is Mr. Green is the murderer. So we've got to cover the orange and the brown and the white. Again, we won't be able to do all of these. But if we do it this way, we can use our last clue icon to prevent the duplicate issue. Okay, we've now got the wrench, can be eliminated, as well as the candlestick. We know it was the poison. If the icon is not visible, if we had covered this poison, we would lose. So all of the facts of the murder have to be showing by the end of the game. All right, we need to cover this wrench and the candlestick. So we can cover those like this. It is covering a bystander. We can also choose not to. I think we're okay. So we will cross out this bystander. But we are up to 5 blackmail. If we get one more, we instantly lose. But we're doing really well on time, so I'm not too worried there. Oh, and that was the last card. And yeah, we did resolve all of the items. We also did not use one of our secret passageways, so that'll give us 2 points. And we have a win, and it's only 8 o'clock. So we had kind of an easier go, but we had a lot of options. We also used all of these, and we allowed ourselves to be exposed to more blackmail. And we covered 1 bystander. So I think we did okay. So let's see if these are correct. So Mr. Green should be, yep, so we have the Mr. Green here. All right, and the weapon should be both poisons, and that's correct. And the room should be the blue, the office. Okay, I'm going to stack these here. All right, I want to do a quick check on bystanders and make sure we didn't cover anybody, so we don't need to check them off. We've got 1, 2 that were in our murder facts cards, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the one we covered. So there are 6 total. So the way we count up points is the icons on this time tracker card that are not checked off. So we've got 5 for these bystanders, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12 for this unused secret passageway. So a score of 12. Pretty good. I forgot to mention how you can use these small X's here as a way to keep track of things. So I wanted to show a scenario where you know, if you weren't sure that something had been eliminated yet. So see the for whatever reason you have to cover this rope. You hadn't figured out if it had been eliminated. You're covering it like this, and instead of covering the rope with a full X, you could do a small X to the side. Basically, it's letting you know that you've seen the rope, or at least one of them. And then when this comes out later, that would let you know that that's your second rope, so that you can eliminate it. On the other hand, if you cover the rope and you are going through the deck and you get to the end of the game and you find out that in fact the rope was the murder weapon, you lose because you can't have covered anything here. So wanted to make sure I added that little piece too. All right, I wanted to mention that this game has been entered in the Board Game Geek 2024 Solitaire Print and Play Design Contest. So I'll include a link to that work in progress thread where you can provide feedback and see the various files and things. I'll also include a link to the playingcards.io room here in the video description, and I am looking for feedback. What do you think of gameplay? What do you think of the scoring, the optional scoring? Were there confusing elements? Can you think of ways to improve the game, etc.? Really, any and all feedback would be much appreciated. Thanks for watching and checking this out, and we'll check you next time. Thanks.